What's up, Cookout family? You are on today's episode with Ty and
Tony.
And we're here to bring you a very special episode today. You want to let the people?
You know, I thought it was necessary that we talked about empty nesting after just getting back from college new student orientation, which we did a vlog about. We're going to edit that and we're going to get it out to y'all as soon as possible. But I think we wanted to kind of just reflect on that and kind of talk to everybody out there that's either going to go through this or going through this now or
went through it before.
Exactly.
So some can relate, some cannot relate, and some will be looking for this video in a couple of years. Today we kind of want to dive into what empty nesting looks like for us. And let me start by letting you know that we are halfway to the empty nest. Mm-hmm. We have a 19-year-old who doesn't live here anymore.
That's correct.
Shout out to Quay. Yeah. And then we have an 18-year-old who is on her...
never going nowhere. No, she's about to go to college.
At this rate, she really thinks that she's never going anywhere. But she's headed to college in 6 weeks. Yeah. 7 weeks. Yeah.
Crazy.
So let's get into your feelings. How do you feel about Tony leaving?
I'm gonna try to be as brief as possible because I feel like I could go on. As a dad, you know, who only has one daughter, like after going to the college and seeing everything, especially when the kids split up and they got to stay in their dorms, you know, this is new to us. So taking our daughter to, and her name is Tony as well, but taking her to this new student orientation on night number 2 or day number one, all the kids got to move into the dorms and stay in the dorms so they can get that full experience. And so I think that's when it really hit me that my daughter is going to be living this type of life on a regular basis, kind of going where she wants, doing what she wants, when she wants. She doesn't have to necessarily answer to us, check in with us. And so it does make me feel a little nervous because I'm a bit concerned about, not just her safety, but her decision making because she's not under our umbrella when it comes to decisions. Yep. Though teenagers make bad decisions even when they're under your house, under your roof, but out there, they're a lot more prone to bad decisions. So that's the number one thing I was thinking about for real.
True.
What about you?
I think I kind of got like a different take on it. So let me spin this my way on how I feel. You said you are nervous, right?
Yeah, a bit nervous about her decision making. Yeah. Decision making. With the freedom that she has, the extra freedom.
But should we really even be nervous when Tony has always been our free-spirited child? She has always been outgoing and friendly and stubborn and vocal, very vocal. Honestly speaking, she should have been a lawyer. Whereas our oldest is the complete opposite, more reserved, more quiet, more chill, more laid back. But I think the reason why we're having the feelings that we're having now is because one kid decided not to go to college, and we supported that.
Right.
The second kid decided to go to college, and we supported that. So with that being said, I think it's a lot of learning as we go, learning as we grow, and just trying to take everything in because keep in mind, we are going to be empty nesters at 40 and 37.
I ain't 40 yet. I'll be 40 in 1 week.
But we will be empty nesters at the age of, by the time she goes to college,
for sure. Yeah.
40 and 37. So while most people our age is just now starting families, just now getting married, just now kind of like retreating into the house to this, I've done what I'm going to do. Right.
Get out the streets.
We're the complete opposites. We headed to the streets.
Yeah.
So
in a good way.
In a good way. But I say all that to say, like, for me, the emotions are mixed because I did come a parent at 16 and then a parent again at 17. And to be here at 37, becoming an empty nester, it's bittersweet.
Yeah,
It's bittersweet, but I will say I'm excited for what's to come.
for sure.
And I say I'm excited because being parents early do not afford you the opportunities that being parents in later ages would afford you. So we're gonna elaborate on that.
I completely agree. Like when it comes to like the early stages of parenting, like we were just grinding, just go mode. You know, a lot of people told us when you have kids at an early age, you can't do this, you can't do that, you'll never be this or you'll never be that. And
Shout out
you know,
to my haters.
yeah. And most importantly, shout out to God, because I think like ultimately, you know, God has the final say. And so it was a part of our destiny to be parents at an early age so that we could experience things, so that we could learn, you know, from our children. We could learn, I mean, a lot. Like we learned a lot from our kids growing up, but
We learned a lot from them,
yeah,
but we also had the opportunity to learn with them.
yeah,
Not only that, but we were not afforded the opportunities to travel.
that's true.
Now we get the opportunities to not only travel together, but traveling with young adult children is a different level.
Yeah, it's kind of lit, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Because
We don't need sitters.
Yep.
We don't have to bring grandma and
Except for
grandpa.
Monty. Monty needs a sitter.
No, but I'm saying we don't need sitters to come with us on
For the
vacation.
kids,
right?
correct. Yeah.
So we don't need sitters to come on vacation. We don't need sitters while we go on vacation. So, I mean, it's lit.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. And, you know, I think for most people that are on the other side of it, that are like, okay, well, I'm 37, 38, 39, I have little kids. I think what we've noticed as we've started traveling more is that we see people on the planes, like going out of the country with little kids. And we're like, yo, that's lit too. You know, like your kid. Well, I mean, what I mean by that is like little kids getting to experience like traveling out of the country, and they having these videos and these pictures with their kids of like, and I see that as a beautiful thing as well. So
But-
it's two sides to it.
Do you know how good it feels to not share a room with our children no more when we travel?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know about y'all, but
Yeah.
4 people in one room, even if it is a suite, we are all different.
Yeah.
Which means you may be neat, you may be messy, some may snore, some may not snore. They want to hang out, we want to be in. So I just think that there are a lot of challenges and changes that comes with being empty nesting. But I will go on record saying that although I am excited about this next chapter of what's to come, I would be lying if I didn't say that I'm sad because I don't feel needed anymore. You know?
Yeah, I've heard you say that a lot. And I mean, for me, it's just more so like just looking forward to what marriage looks like after this, you know, looking forward to what like my relationship with Tony looks like. Like we talked about on the drive home, like about her being able to come to me about different stuff, like even little stuff, you know, like not necessarily having to ask for money or things like that, but just like being comfortable and reaching out to me as a young adult woman and saying, hey, Dad, what you think about this? Even if she got her mind already made up, just knowing that she can still call and talk to me about that. And so we literally had a therapy session on the way home, trying to figure out how we can get better. And yeah, I did drive 4 hours. So.
But with that being said,
yeah.
Do you feel like she's going to come to you more now that she's away and we're not hovering? Or do you feel like she's going to come to you even less now that she has more freedom?
I mean, I hope she comes to me more, to be honest. I mean, as a man, as a father, I'm thinking about like just wanting to be in the loop.
As an active father.
Yeah.
So you have to you have to really put that out there because there is a big difference between being an active father and an inactive father. You know, the inactive father sometimes get more respect and more attention than the father that's really in the house.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen that way.
Yeah.
But I just hope that Tony, decides to talk and wants to actually reach out and stuff like that. And so I'm optimistic, but at the same time, I know that, I might not hear from her as much as well. And that's going to be a possibility because she's going to be, exploring herself and trying to figure out who she is and who she's going to be in the future and career wise and all of that stuff. But guys, we can go on and on and on and on.
True, we could, but let's be clear. We don't just have one kid.
Yeah.
We do have two. And majority of this video may be about Tony, right?
Because we're fresh off of taking her to college.
It's about Tony only because Tony lives here. She is present 24/7 here in the house. Now, don't get that twisted because Quay gives us a run for our money.
Oh, yeah.
But the path was just different. His path was more along the line of, I just want to work right now and school is not for me. So I feel like far too many times as parents, you project yourself onto your kids. And I think that it comes down to allowing our children to make those decisions and learn from those decisions and understand that we will always be here when they're ready to make a change and when they feel like enough is enough. Would you agree?
I agree. So, my advice to parents right now, if you're going through this transition like we're going through it, be patient, pray. I pray a lot. Just I think even more so now than I did when they were younger and in school and in the house because you're concerned about them outside of the house, but who's actually in control. It's not you, it's God. So at the end of the day, you pray a lot, make sure you communicate a lot. Don't hold your feelings back because that's not really going to help. You need to let them know how you feel. Let your significant other know how you feel and, make sure you're on the same page. But for the most part, guys, if you're going through this, you got any tips, anybody that's, experience some of what we're going through, drop it in the comment section below and let us know. And shout out to everybody that's been supporting the channel so far. This is video number 2 as far as our long form. And we thought we will peel the layers back a little bit more. I didn't want the video to be too long. This video is going to be a little bit lengthy, but if you're still here, as you would say, thank you. Then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for what we got next, man. It's the Cookout Couple. We out.